Okay, so I want to talk about Ishamael. Like, we already know that he is the only Forsaken to be suffering from major depression and, ideations. So maybe that could explain why he just stood there and let Rand drive that fucking sword into him. But I don't know. I just want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. So y'all gonna get tired of me announcing this, but I need to promote, make sure that you go in my description box and check out my upcoming album. Get the iTunes pre-order, get the Spotify pre-save. My new album, Gag Reflex, will be out Friday the 13th, October 13th. It's spooky season, it's twerky season. All right. Thanks so much to Devin for creating this beautiful cover, beautiful art. And I will put his information in the description box. Check it out. So yeah, y'all, I hope you're excited, and I hope your ears are ready to be blessed with homosexual music. All right, y'all, let's talk about the ending. Now, I love the ending, love the finale so much. I loved it. But I want to talk about Ishamael because rewatching it, and having some time to think really makes me wonder about him and what's going on with him. And honestly, Landfair too, because the last line of the season was from her, and she was talking about light help you, Randall Thor, when she is of the dark. I mean, even Moraine looks confused when Landfair told her in the ways that, when it was time, she needs to raise the fire banner for Rand. So it's just like, girl, I'm confused. I'm confused, but this video ain't about her. Let's talk about Ishi. Keep in mind that I'm mainly just a show person, so no major spoilers, please, in the comments, please. I'm just a show person speculating. I look up some lore sometimes, but that's it, just because I want to be gagged by the show. Now, remember, Ishamael was the one who shielded Moraine without even a second thought. Like, I didn't even think he used his fucking hands to do that shit. And remember that the Forsaken are so powerful that they don't even need to constantly channel into the shield to do it. They can just create that weave one time, tie it off, and it continues to work, right? So remember, they kept implying that Rand didn't know what he was doing with the power. And that's why it was so easy for the Emerald Seat to shield him. But then Ishamael need a whole ship of Shan-Chan to do it? You see what I'm saying? Unless I'm missing something. Unless, there's a large part of this that I'm not getting. But the Emerald shielded the fuck out of him with no fucking. She just put her hand up and he was shielded. Now I know they like we said that Aes Sedai have to constantly channel into it, but it's just like if she was able to do that, I don't see why Ishamael couldn't just snap his fingers like that and shield him in the same way that he did to Moiraine. So and then at the same time, Lanfear is Forsaken just as Ishii is. And she blasted the hell out of the Emerald Seat. So why is it hard for Ishii to come and tame Rand, but a Forsaken is easily taking down the Emerald Seat, who arguably has more experience in the power? Not obviously not more powerful, but more experienced in the power. Like, she knows what she's doing with the power more than these the main protagonist. Now, some people might have been mad that Egwene had the ability to even stand up to Ishamael, who was Forsaken. But I kind of like it because I don't know. I'm biased to Egwene. I'm definitely biased. But Egwene is powerful as hell. That's the first thing. But second thing, she wasn't really fighting him. She just had a force field up. She just had a shield up, and honestly, it broke. It was breaking. That's why she looked back at Rand like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I tried as hard as I can to hold this shield up, but it's coming down." And Perrin had to come in with that shield from one of the heroes of the Horn, Uno's shield. So it's like, yeah, I understand what y'all saying. Even Ishamael said you can't stand against the Forsaken. He said that to Egwene. But I mean, she kind of did just for a little bit. Now, when that was about to fail, the shielding dropped on Rand. So Rand, when Egwene's protection was about to fail, or when she put it down, Moraine fucked the ships up. So the shielding around Rand went down. He was able to use his power, and Ishamael literally just stood there and let Rand stab him with the sword that had the power. And remember, Lanfear was chopping off heads without even just twisted her hand. Remember that guy who was sitting on the horse, chopped his head off and kept it moving, blowing shit up. Lanfear was plowing through shit. But Ishii decides to just use some flame attacks, and that's it. when he definitely has more power than the Aes Sedai. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if the Aes Sedai are running around the White Tower telling the kids that they don't know shit, or telling the girls they don't know shit, the main protagonist, that they gotta fucking practice more, blah, 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 blah. Ishamael is supposed to be much more powerful than the Aes Sedai. How is it that he just is just standing there, girl? So yeah, I want to know what y'all think, because he literally just stood there and let Rand drive that sword into him. He didn't even run away. He didn't even, like, I mean, you could have made a big ass blast, and like he knocked him out or tossed them around, both Egwene and Rand, when they first saw each other on top of the tower. So it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, I'm sure, obviously, that there is much more to this than meets the eye, because that's how a lot of the characters are on the show. That's how the story is. In general, that's how the lore is. There's just a lot more to this that will be uncovered as the seasons progress, right? So maybe this is not the last we'll see of Ishamael, or at least of Ishamael's plan. We already know that, because before he got Thanos snapped, by Rand, he managed, much to Lanfear's fucking dismay, he managed to free the rest of the Forsaken, like all of the Forsaken. So it's like, you had a plan before you went out. You stood there and got stabbed. I'm sorry, you stood there and got stabbed. And I know that Lanfear got stabbed by Moiraine, but she got stabbed, but Moiraine didn't put the one power into whatever she stabbed her with. And then Moiraine was just like, oh yeah, girl, well, what I did will not be enough to take her out. And I'm just like, I guess she knew that even if she put the one power into whatever knife or whatever she used to stab Lanfear, that it wouldn't work either. But then it worked when Rand did it, even though he's less experienced with the power than Moiraine. It's just something there is like wonky. And I don't think it's because of like showrunner negligence or things like that. Like, because the showrunners, I think, of course, you know, there have been some things that we're gonna have to talk about later on. I just want to, you know, let the season marinate before I actually bring up, because girl, I want to talk about colorism, child. They're gonna be a little pressed about this, but I'm just like, girl, Rima, Chavalda, you got Karine, you got, girl, I'm gonna get into it. But it's just like, I don't think that this is like an issue or a problem that the showrunners have created. I think maybe it's part of a bigger plan and we have no idea, or at least the show people, maybe the book people know, but the show people have no idea what the hell is coming. Because I'm like, girl, you really could have done something. You didn't even try to swat the fucking sword away, unless he was so gagged that Rand could even stand up, you know, could even stand up to do that. Maybe he brought the Shan Chan there with them ships to really make 100% sure, even though it didn't happen, 100% sure that Rand would not be able to use his powers. Because maybe if he just shielded himself, he was scared that the dragon would use his power to escape the shielding. So maybe more Shan Chan or more people doing it, channeling it, and he tried to gentle him. So it's like, it's not, to me, I just need season 3 to hurry and come. I need some explanation. Now, do y'all think I'm reaching with this? Do you think I am like definitely so far out of the ballpark with this? Or do you think it's weird that for as much as Lanfear was dragging bitches effortlessly, do you think it's weird that another Forsaken was just, you know, stood there? He just stood there, girl. Like, you could watch it again. He just stood there. So let me know what y'all think about this. Love y'all so much, and I'll check y'all later. Peace.